In this video, I'm covering the best and the worst real estate lead generation sources for 2025, in my opinion, but also I've done over 100 interviews of top real estate agents, and there are a ton of top real estate agents within my own community, so I know what works and what doesn't work for other people as well. I am not going to be covering every single lead generation strategy. There are just so many. I am only going to cover the most common ones. So if you have a genuine question, please let me know. Drop it in the comments. I'm more than happy to respond. As I go through each lead generation strategy, I don't want you to think yay or nay, because there are a lot more frameworks. It's not just black and white like that. So these are the 6 frameworks that I want you to be thinking about in the back of your head as I talk about each of the strategies. The first one is going to be consistency. Is this a lead generation strategy that you can see yourself doing forever? There is no point of starting a lead generation strategy if you're not going to be consistent. If you're only going to do it for a year, if you're only going to do it for 6 months, it's not even worth it. So always think, before I take something on, is this something that I can take on forever? I know that's like such a big commitment, but I think if a lot more agents thought that way, they wouldn't start with a lot of the lead generation strategies I'm going to cover in this video. Number 2 is the timeliness. So from the time that you do one of these strategies, how long, realistically, how long will it take for that to turn into a paycheck? Number 3 is going to be ROI. How much money or time do you have to put into each of these lead generation sources, and how much money will it generate for your business? The 4th and the 5th framework that I want you to think about is whether your lead gen sources are one-to-many or one-to-one. Now, one-to-many is, typically upfront effort, one time, goes out to the masses, typically saves you time, sometimes saves you effort. Now, one-to-one is typically stronger. That's usually going to carry a higher conversion rate, but it takes up so much more time and sometimes is a lot more costly. And the last framework that I want you to think about is the quality of the leads. Are they actually looking to buy or sell? Are they actually even wanting to use an agent at all? Are they even looking in your city? There's a lot of effort that needs to be placed into making sure that you're not just running ads to run ads. You're making sure that you are putting yourself in front of the right people at the right time. And there is a formula for this. My formula that I use is twofold. And all of the boxes need to be checked in order for them to use you as an agent and for you to get paid. And you've probably already heard bits and chunks before, but this is putting it all together. So the first half of the formula is making sure that you are getting in front of people and starting conversations with people that know you, like you, and trust you. And once you get in front of people like that and start your lead gen sources in front of people like that, then you have to have the other remaining half of the formula, which is that they're ready and willing and able. Without all 6 of those being checked, you won't get a paycheck. So that's the formula for being a successful real estate agent. And of course, it's easier said than done. So the rest of this video is going to be covering from the worst lead gen strategies all the way down to the best lead gen source. Starting with the worst real estate agent lead gen source, in my opinion, number 8 is going to be buying buyer leads. I'm talking realtor.com. I'm talking buying Zillow leads, buying random people that say that they'll give you a list. Buyers are not hard to find. So don't waste your money on that. Plus, when you're buying leads, which typically come with buyers, you're typically not going to get a listing out of that right away. It's definitely a long-term play there, but you're buying strangers that don't know you, they don't like you, let alone trust you. Plus, who knows if they're actually even ready to buy, willing to buy, or able to buy. You have none of those 6 in the formula checked off, so I think it's just lighting money on fire. Now, do people have success with this? Absolutely. But is this expensive? And in my opinion, not a good ROI for me and my business, and from the others that I've seen that are crushing it. Yeah, it's not a good ROI. You can be paying from $200 per lead, not per client, per lead, up to like $600 per lead. So if you're buying a list of 80, 800 people, that's gonna be so much. It's up to you to either hire out or take your own time, effort, sacrifice in order to call down the list or email down the list to start knocking off those 6 check marks. Can I get myself in front of them so that way they know me? Can I get them to like me? Can I get them to then trust me? And then once I do that, are they ready? Are they willing? Are they able? It's too much of an unknown, way too much, and I don't think that the ROI is worth it there. So then even after you spend countless hours, days, weeks, months following up to make sure that they check off all 6 of them, then at that point, after you get them under contract, you still have to pay sometimes, like the Zillow Flex company or whatever, 35%. In my opinion, I don't think that's worth it. Not only that, but a lot of people, I think, hear about other agents that pay for leads and pay to play, which I don't agree with that philosophy at all, that it takes money to make money. I don't think that. So therefore they think, okay, out of every paycheck that I get, let me just go pay for leads. That's not my philosophy. But also, if you're going to be building a business and continuously paying for buyer leads, like forever, that shouldn't be a forever game. That should be an upfront, if you have nothing better to do with your money and you feel like lighting it on fire for a bit. And that is just meant to give you now business. If you're going to be doing this, make sure that you at some point build up enough of a database to where those buyers become sellers and they refer you, but do not have that faucet turned on for the rest of your career. Now, headed to the 7th worst lead gen strategy that I think is cold calling. Now, of course, some people crush this. Again, every one of these lead generation strategies can work. It's just a matter of, will it work for you? Do you even want it to work for you? Again, are you going to be consistent with it? Is it timely business? Is the ROI there for both money and time? Is it one-to-one? Is it one-to-many? With cold calls, it's really, really hard to pinpoint how many dials you need to make in order to get a client, because it depends on the list. It depends on the time of day that you call. It depends on the real estate market. It depends on your skills. It depends on who you're calling, FSBOs, or is it expireds, or is it just random people? It depends there's so many variables, but overall it's gonna be 500 to 1. So this comes with costs such as skip tracing, because you do not want to be calling the wrong people, because people will get pissed off, as they should.
I get pissed when people call me
and it's just to solicit and annoy me and interrupt my day. So you have to make sure that you're doing things the right way. It can cost you a pretty penny if you're doing things illegally. I personally have this down as a 7th worst lead gen strategy because I hate when I get cold calls. So that's the last thing I want to do to somebody else. I never answer any strange numbers. You call me, I will not answer. Yes, I'm a real estate agent, and yes, I do business, but there are too many scammers out there and plus majority of the time it's not a qualified buyer or qualified seller yet. So I have my process, which I have explained in other videos before. So if you want to steal my process, I put almost everything on this channel for free for you guys. And the more that I get requests about a specific video, the chances are that I will make that video for you. So if you have any questions, you can drop it in the comments or like and subscribe, whatever, to find future videos that I will be covering. But overall, 500 to 1 for cold calling. You have to catch people at the right time. It really depends on the list that you're calling and the personality. If you thrive off of cold calling, then by all means, please do it. But overall, I think it's kind of finding a needle in the haystack, and the amount of not just effort, but psychological, mental effort that I think would need to go into it is not worth it for me. The 6th worst lead gen strategy is getting those phone calls from solicitors of people saying, hey, I work for the grocery store and I would love to put your name and face and phone number and brokerage on a shopping cart. Would you want to upfront pay me for no promise at all? I don't, maybe it works for some people. I don't want to get random phone calls from people that found me on a shopping cart. The reason I don't want to ever spend money on that is because I have never been convinced enough by seeing somebody in the grocery store behind a little piece of plastic and thought, oh man, this should be my attorney. I want this to be my attorney. I've never done that. Maybe you have, so therefore do it. It'll attract your people. I had that conversation and I was like, okay, well, talk more. How many grocery stores are going to put me in front of? How many shopping carts is it? And they couldn't answer that. So I was like, why would I throw money your way if you can't even give me detailed responses? It's pretty basic questions, I think. How many carts, for how long, and what guarantees do you have? They couldn't answer any of them. So
no.
And this is closely related to the 5th worst lead gen strategy, which goes hand in hand, and that's physical products. I'm talking random magazines that really have no buy-in or no prestige, nothing in it, just random, you're putting yourself on a magazine cover. You can do that at Kinko's or Staples, whatever it's called, or putting something out in the newspaper. I think physical products are going away. Can it work? Of course. Is it worth the time, money, effort, sacrifice? To me, no. And the fourth worst is in-person networking, like networking groups. I'm talking Chamber of Commerce, and I used to be in one. I'm talking B&I groups. I'm talking anytime business owners get together, especially if you have to pay to play, which a lot of them you do. Even if it's cheap to get in and become a member, it takes so much effort. If it's a weekly or a monthly thing, or let alone if you end up getting like a leadership position to put yourself in front of even more people within that circle, it's very time consuming. And as you start getting business, the last thing that I think you're likely going to want to do is continue running a whole ass group. So not only do you have to weasel your way in, you then have to get people to like you, and hopefully that's not the hard part. There likely are already other real estate agents within that community that already have the know, like, and trust factor from others, but it just takes so much time. I think it does not check the ROI bucket in this case. I also think it does not check off the timeliness portion of the framework that you should be thinking about with each lead gen strategy. That's because even if you do end up, getting in front of the people, they start knowing you, they start liking you, they start trusting you, great, that's half the formula. Now you have to stick around and keep that consistency, whether it's weekly or monthly, even if it's quarterly. But even then, you still have to be on all the time, and then you have to wait for someone to be ready, willing, and able, and aka finish the second half of the formula. I think it's just not as predictable. You cannot measure your input in that. You can show up, great, but there is no direct correlation of you increasing your input to then get a higher output. So for me, that's also a no. But with one caveat. CrossFit. If you're a CrossFitter, I have heard of so much success with real estate agents that are truly into CrossFit. Don't just join CrossFit just to do it. That's why I'm not doing it. But that is pretty much a BNI of people that will use you. I think it's something about like embracing the suck, like you're all like going through, it's like military, like you're all going through like some sort of suck together. And so that provides a stronger relationship versus just a chamber of commerce, in my opinion. So CrossFit, I think, is the one networking group that is worth it. The third worst lead gen source for real estate agents, in my opinion, are those Facebook groups that you'll join for free, no cost there, hoping that you will be at the computer at the right time with the right paragraph ready to paste as soon as somebody says, "I'm looking to purchase in Milwaukee." Because at that point, you just have hundreds of real estate agents just foaming at the mouth, and they're like,
pick me, I can help you, I know of someone.
And to try to stand out is just hard. So you have to like friend request them, find their spouse, find their mother, friend request all of them, call them on Facebook, send them messages. It's way too much. It's another speed to lead option, which is just near impossible to win. Can you win some? Yeah. Is it predictable? No. Are you going to be consistently on the computer waiting for somebody to post? No. Again, if you cannot sustain a specific lead gen strategy, then don't even start it. Don't even bother. The second worst, in my opinion, is tied. There are two that are the second worst lead gen sources. One of those ties is going to be billboards. I think paying for billboards is just a waste. Unless you have done the research to know exactly how much traffic you will get every single week, what the demographics are of that traffic that is driving by that billboard. Are they mainly going to be buyers? Are they mainly going to be sellers? Can you even find that information out? I think that goes pretty similar to buying the ads on like a grocery store shopping cart. I don't think that it's worth it. It may feel good and may stroke your ego, but that's about it. Because again, when was the last time that you saw a billboard and thought,
okay, perfect, this is my attorney. degree.
Or,
yes, I am going to go to that college. That's great. Yeah, thanks.
and then how many times have you actually been able to stick around at that intersection, usually it's on a highway, to be able to, like, long enough to be able to write down the phone number and the email or take a photo? It's near impossible. I don't think that they work. It only gets people to start knowing you, but they know nothing about you, so they don't know if they like you. They're judging you based off your appearance. So if you're hot, cool, but otherwise, that sucks. And then, of course, they don't trust you yet, let alone doesn't figure out any other part of the formula either. Are the people that are watching that, are they ready? Are they willing? Are they able? Don't know. The other lead gen strategy that is tied for the second worst is door knocking. And I'm talking door knocking just to door knock. Like, let's just pick a random neighborhood and start knocking on their doors. Again, what neighborhood are you door knocking? Is it allowed? How do you look? How are you presenting yourself? Are they even the homeowner, or are they just the renters? What are you leaving them with? How often are you showing up at their door so that way they even start knowing you? Because it's not going to be a one-time knock and now they know you. And there are so many more factors that go into it too. What time of day? Because don't be knocking before 10 a.m. on a weekend. They're going to get mad at you because people are still sleeping. Now, of course, I think that door knocking as you have an open house, I think that's a great strategy. You're there to just provide some quick information, in and out. Leave them with a little flyer, that's it, in and out. Don't be a hassle. But door knocking in an attempt to help a renter buy or buyer upgrade or somebody sell their house, no. Which takes us to the number one worst lead gen strategy. And if you haven't figured that out yet, it's mailers. I think mailers are the absolute worst lead gen strategy there is. And yet it gets so much publicity. People, brand new agents think, okay, I'm a real estate agent, I'm gonna start farming. Because that's what people talk about and that's what people pay for. And there's a process, but it is so costly, and the amount of time and patience that it takes for you to even get a phone call back, it is not worth it. Again, if you want to light money on fire, if you have extra money that you just don't know what to do with, sure, throw it into mailers, but just know that it can take a solid year before you even get one phone call back. And during that year, that's presuming that you have sent the same houses mailers over and over and over again, because they say it takes 7 times to 12 times for people to even remember you. So 7 to 12 mailers later, that's when you finally check off the no. You will never be able to check off the like. In fact, if you're harassing people, how many times have you gotten, mailers and been like,
oh my God, this person again.
So there's no way for you to really check off the like part of that formula, let alone the trust, in my opinion. Now, of course, you can get fancy with the mailers. You can add QR codes that then go to your YouTube channel, or that then go to a video that is personalized for that neighborhood and say, hey, it's Ali Garcet. I am a local neighbor. I live in your neighborhood, and I just wanted to give you a quick update about the market. In case you knew of anyone, this house is getting up for sale. Whatever you want to say, but the amount of money that goes into mailers and flyers and any other physical products that you're going to be mailing out, it's very expensive. You're either going to be paying for a service to mail it out for you, or you're going to be paying for it yourself with your time in making mailers or handwriting mailers and dropping it off house to house. Farming is, I don't know why it gets so much publicity. Don't do it. If you're a brand new agent, don't do it. There's so many better options, which I'm going to be getting to in the rest of this video here. But mailing to like 50 to 100 homes is going to cost you $300 every single time. Times doing that every single month, or what you should be doing is every other week. And that's just to one specific neighborhood, in the hopes that once they start knowing you, liking you, trusting you, if you're able to develop trust over a mailer, then you're just hoping that they are ready, willing, and able to either buy or sell, plus the time that it takes to even create the graphic, know what you're going to say, record the YouTube video if you're even going to be using a QR code for these mailers, making sure that it looks professional. How many times do you get mail and you know it's a fake bill, so you just rip it up? So even getting your mailers just to be opened is such a big time suck, I think, that you could be using that time, money, effort, energy into something else. But let's play it out. say you do send mailers every other week. You're like, you know what? I'm gonna make mailers work for me. I'm gonna send it to these 300 houses and spend $400 every 2 weeks. So you have spent 10 grand on just the mailing part alone. That's not accounting the time that you put into it, the research into each mailer, the call to action. Okay, you put 10 grand by the end of the year, maybe start getting people calling you. Excellent. What if you don't answer the call? What if you're out to dinner? What if you're with family? Anything, like at that point, it then becomes speed to lead. Because once you have finally gotten a phone call, they have finally been like, you know what? I think I am gonna use Allie as my real estate agent. And they call and you don't answer, you lost your opportunity. So mailers is getting a fat thumbs down from me, dog. Now let's go into the best lead generation sources, going from lowest to the #1 lead generation source. The 6th best way to get leads for 2025 is digitally. And I'm not talking about paying for Facebook ads or paying for YouTube ads. I'm talking organic all day, baby. That's what I did. That's what I found success with. That's what a lot of agents in my community have found success with, is just their own Facebook, their own Instagram followers. And I'm not even talking about thousands of followers. I'm talking about hundreds. Why? They already know you. They already like you. They already trust you if you're halfway a decent person. So that has already solved half of the equation. The other half of the equation that you just have to wait for and chime in and find out and get in front of is to make sure that they call you when they are ready, willing, and able. So with half of the formula already solved, that's 50% of the work already done. And that's the hardest part. So now it's up to you to make sure you DM people to get in front of them. Now let's talk about how many DMs that's gonna take. I highly suggest, if you're brand new, you've never done a real estate sale before, 40 DMs every single day. That could be a mixture of people on Facebook, people on Instagram, or honestly, just text. It's your database. It's people that already know you, like you, trust you, but it's digital. You don't have to waste time going in person. You don't have to put any extra effort. You don't have to give people gifts and bribe people to work with you. It's checking in on people that already like you. The way that I think about outbound prospecting digitally, like on social media and with people that already know you, like you, trust you, is almost like a seesaw. So think of a seesaw, and at the beginning, it's gonna be tilted this way, where the majority of your heavy work is going to be sending out DMs. So I say 40, sometimes even 50 DMs every single day. That's not hard, guys, by the way. Like, how bad do you want business? Do you want to be a real estate agent? You can do this. I promise you can do this. So the seesaw is going to be down here. In the beginning, 40 to 50 DMs every single day until you start posting on social media, which I'll get to later. And I've already done a lot of other videos on this channel about social media. And I've given you my exact social media strategy for 2025. So the more that you post, the more that people will see your page. And therefore, the seesaw can start tottering, what would be the word? Moving a little bit more evenly. So over time, from 50 DMs every single day and you not having anything posted on your social media, over time it's gonna look like this. And maybe you'll only send 30 DMs every single day, because at that point you may be getting 2 inbounds a week. Once you have 1 every single day, then you don't have to send as many outbound DMs. Maybe instead of 30 DMs that you were sending out every single day, as you were getting 2 inbound leads a week, as you get 1 a day, you can only start sending 10. You could lower that to 10 DMs a day. So over time, that seesaw is gonna go from here to here. And you don't have to be famous. You just have to be consistent. That's exactly how I made my business work when I first got started. And that's how I became a top producing real estate agent, like the top 1.5% within all of EXP. My first year of doing this full time was because of social media. Now I wanna go to the 5th best lead gen source, which is your sphere. Now this specifically, it's not just digital presence, it's actual phone calls to people, again, people that know you and like you and trust you. Maybe they're not on social media. Maybe it's people that you see, during Thanksgiving. It's your extended family. It's people that are your neighbors that know you. It's people from your CrossFit community, but you already have, again, that first half of the formula solved. They already know you, like you, trust you. And now you just have to not wait, but get in front of them for when they're ready, willing, and able. Your sphere typically has a 50-to-1 ratio. So remember when I was talking about cold calling and how generally speaking, that's 500 to 1? This is a 10th of the effort. It's 50 to 1. Every 50 people that you talk to in your phone, you will get 1 client. That at that point is just math. So therefore it's more predictable income to you. It's just a numbers game. Now, what's even better than Sphere is the fourth best lead gen, which is open houses. Or should I say, which are open houses? Open houses are a 15-to-1 ratio. Every 15 parties that walk in, you're gonna come out with a client. So even though in the beginning, they don't know you, like you, trust you, chances are, they are ready, willing, and able. So therefore, these three are stronger. If you can put yourself in front of this half of the equation, this is what's going to pay your bills. This is where you can actually pick up clients. You can work on the know, like, trust, but you first have to get in front of the ready, willing, and able buyers and sellers. Now, you can't just do open houses willy-nilly. There is a strategy, and there are a lot of really, really good strategies out there. You can just Google it. The agents in my community get our specific open house lead gen strategy. It's a document of like 8 pages, and it covers everything from like what to do a week before, how to even make sure you get consistent open houses, how do you partner up with the listing agents so that way they know to give you the open house first, like your first shot is going to be going to you, how to market it correctly, because you don't want to go out there and only to find out that nobody comes to your open house because you chose the wrong house in the wrong neighborhood. So our document covers all of that. It's step by step. And all the agents that join me in the community get that for free. So once you do get that open house, also, by the way, I have videos on how to do open houses on this channel too. So once you do have that open house, it's just a matter of what do you say? What is your script? Especially now with the NAR, where you have to cover agency fast. How do you get them to know, like, trust you super, super fast and in a way where they're able to sign agency, naming you as their real estate agent when they just met you? Another big benefit of open houses is that it costs very little. You may be paying for some, marketing, some flyers in the neighborhood. You may be buying some balloons. You may be buying some snacks. That's it. Even then, all those 3 can be paid for by your preferred lender. So as far as money goes, doesn't cost you money. It will just cost you time. And when you're starting out, that is a great way to get in front of people. So open up your weekends. Yes, it's going to cost you your weekends. Again, do you want business? You can be successful. I don't even know who I'm talking to right now, but I know that you can be successful if you just choose the right lead gen sources and be consistent enough with them with the support of a good group of real estate agents that are also still in the business guiding you in the right direction. So that way you don't have to make the mistakes and spend your time on the 8 terrible ways of getting leads, wasting money on leads in 2025, and instead you can focus on what works. Now I want to cover the third best lead gen, which is buyer and seller seminars. This can be done either digitally, virtually over Zoom, or it can be done in person. Either way, by you putting up, this is going to cost probably some upfront money. Maybe you want to put some money behind it to advertise it, but you also don't have to. This is a great way to share expenses with a preferred lender partner of yours. Sometimes if your lender is good and has a good marketing budget, they may even have a bigger marketing budget than you. They can cover the cost of all of it. So what you can do is partner with your preferred lender, host it at their office if you plan on doing it in person, or host it over Zoom, and you can put it on Meetup or as a Facebook event and get people to register so that we are capturing names, numbers, emails for you to follow up with later. It's not just to capture it just to capture. It's not just to capture just to grow your database. It's for you to actually follow up with later and send them the replay. But by hosting buyer and seller seminars, it puts you in a position of authority because you are teaching, you are educating. And the only people that are going to show up are those that are actually ready, willing, and able for the most part. You're likely not going to get as many looky-loos like you will get through open houses, which is fine. A lot of them actually turn into sellers. But with, no one's going to register for a home buying or a home selling seminar if they're not actually looking to buy or sell a house. So you have people that are raising your hand, and it's perfect because you're going to be the real estate agent that they go to. The conversion rate there is 10-to-1. If you have 10 parties that show up to your either in-person or digital home buying or selling seminar, you're going to get 1 client. So imagine if every quarter you did a home selling seminar and you got 30 parties each quarter. That means each quarter you're going to have 3 sellers. And then if you use our strategy at 5 pillars with EXP to turn every listing into multiple listings, that's it right there. That's 2 thumbs up. Now, the second best way to get a lead as a real estate agent in 2025 is through your past transactions. your past closings, your past clients. These are people that you have already expended so much time and effort on in building that relationship. And what a lot of real estate agents do is they build that relationship, they get them to know, like, trust you, they find somebody that's ready, willing, and able, they do a closing, then they forget about them. You have already spent so much time checking off all 6 boxes. Treat that person like gold, because they are. The ratio for this, so they say, is 9-to-1 for buyers. So every 9 past buyers that you talk to, they either will refer you another buyer or a seller, or they're going to be purchasing or selling as well. And then for sellers, it's a 4-to-1. Every 4 sellers that you have worked with that you talk to again is going to lead you another client. Like, that's a no-brainer. And if you are a brand new agent, you don't have past transactions, then instead replace this with your sphere. Just double down on that. I make these videos to help real estate agents because I found that what I like even more on top of helping buyers and sellers, especially if they're military, because I'm prior military. I spent a decade in the Air Force as an officer. I separated as a major in 2022. I realized that as I was making the jump from such a quote unquote secure career, making $120,000, going into the complete unknown of running my business and only eating what I hunt, that was a really scary transition. Now, I knew that I had the support of people behind me, but what I found that I like doing even more, like what truly fills my soul, is helping real estate agents go from part-time to full-time, or leave their 50-50 split and know that they can survive on their own as a solo agent. I'm a solo agent. I always have been. I was never once fed a lead, and you also don't have to be fed leads. I love pouring into the agents that join my community that actually have the drive to make this work, because I see myself in them. I was them. I was scared to leave the military knowing that I was miserable. I did not have a good time in the military, yet I spent a decade in it. So despite knowing that I was unhappy in the military, it still was a very, very hard, mentally hard decision to make, even though the answer was yes, but like a, oh shit, type thing. As I left the military to do this full time. I had to make this business work. So when I see other people in the same position where you have to make this business work and you want it, that just speaks to my soul, and I want to help you. So I help the real estate agents for free. Anybody that joins me in my community at eXp Realty, you get me one-on-one. You get Shelby Johnson one-on-one. Shelby Johnson is somebody that I heard on a podcast when I first started out as a real estate agent. She had just moved her entire team over from Keller Williams to eXp, like a lot of Keller Williams teams were doing and still are. So I reached out to her because I heard her on a podcast and she was talking about checklists. I was in Arizona at the time. She was in North Carolina. So she was across the country. I joined somebody that I had never met. I didn't know, but I trusted her. I saw a couple of her checklists of what she could show me at the time, because again, I wasn't even part of her community. And I was like, you know what? That's all I need. I have the drive within me to take a checklist and run with it. Hello, I'm military, so I can follow orders. So that's why I think a lot of military people that go from being in the military to a full-time real estate agent, they succeed, dude. They are good. And that's because I think they know what suck is. They've been on deployment. They know what bad is, and they're okay with it. And they have determination that I just do not see a lot of other people have. Now, a lot of people do have it. I don't want to say that only military people can be successful. Obviously not. But that's just the people that I have surrounded myself with because I spent a decade there. So I just have a very, very sweet spot in my heart for those that are in the military that want to leave, or prior military, that want to be a real estate agent full time, because I know I can help you. Now, can I guarantee any income? Absolutely not. This is up to you. But what I can guarantee is that I will give you the 6-figure formula checklist that I created that helped make me over 6 figures my first year when I was still a part-time agent, and almost $200,000 my first year as a full-time agent. So take a checklist and just apply it. What I also guarantee is that I give all the agents that join me in my community the 90-day action plan. And this is an intense step-by-step, day-by-day checklist of exactly what to do. I'm telling you, it is intense. But those first 90 days will kick off your business. Think of this as boot camp. So if you resonate with a group of people that will treat you like an adult and give you a checklist, so that way you have the formula for your own business and you never have to rely on a team leader for leads. And I hope that, my business succeeds. And if you're the type of person that has your own determination to make things work, then you're the agent for us. When I talk to agents, a lot of them will think that they need in-person presence, but really what they need is guidance, mentorship, and the formula. The only in-person that you need is a relationship with a handyman, a contractor, an appraiser, a lender. Even that can just be digital, and home inspectors. So if you have the confidence that you can Google handymen in your area and Google home inspectors in your area and call them and introduce yourself and say, hey, I'm a real estate agent. I'm new, but I plan on working with buyers. I would love, what's the process of working with you like? If you have the confidence that you can do that, then you can work and be successful with a virtual brokerage. On the flip side, if you are the person that maybe doesn't trust your own work ethic and you don't trust yourself to get a checklist and follow it, then at that point, you're not the agent for us. If you want the formula to success, if you want the 6-figure first year formula, the 90-day master plan, if you want one-on-one coaching from me and one-on-one coaching from Shelby Johnson, who has closed over 500 homes, closer to 600 at this time. If you want the one-on-one mentorship from Ruben Garcia, Ruben was a Keller Williams CEO out of Fayetteville, North Carolina, and now he's a productivity coach for us. You get him for free. He's gonna assign you homework, and the more that you do the homework, the more successful you will be. By naming me as a sponsor at EXP, you will also have access, and in your family tree will be Micah Mruwat. Micah is agent number 333 out of the 88,000 agents that we have at EXP. So she's a senior partner. She has a lot of leverage. And if you're interested in agent attraction, she helps with that. She has a whole team that helps you onboard. So if you want all of us as accountability partners for free, no team split, join us. There is a link in my description. Actually, there are 2 links in my description. The first link is to apply directly, naming me as a sponsor in EXP. And as soon as I get that email coming through saying that you named me as a sponsor, at that point, I'm gonna start onboarding you. So I'll give you access to the Google Drive, our Facebook community, all of the checklists. Then we're going to be meeting regularly to make sure that you're staying on the right course. Now, if you don't yet know if EXP is for you, then the other link in the description below is to book a 30-minute call with me, fill out the questions, and I'll be honest with you on that call. I will let you know if it would be a good fit. Because if it turns out that you do need more hand-holding, there are some areas in the country where if you wanted to name me as a sponsor, you could still join a formal team and get that more hand-holding experience from the local team and get the best of both worlds. So you have that local team, the local presence there, and then you also still have me, Shelby, Ruben, Micah as your business coaches, again, for free. With that said, I'm headed to the best way to get clients as a real estate agent in 2025 is YouTube. I have paid over $1,000 on YouTube courses. And on this channel, I have made free videos telling you exactly what I have learned. So I bit the bullet, I paid the money, and I'm giving you this stuff for free. Those that join me at EXP get the fastest information, but then also the one-on-one coaching as well as the social media auditing. So I audit their channels. But why is YouTube the number one? It's because you're showing your personality. So the more videos that you make, the more chances you're giving people to know you, to like you, to trust you. So you're already completing that half of the formula. YouTube is the number 2 website in the world. Old people are on it. Senior citizens are on it. Adults are on it. Kids are on it. Everyone is on it. YouTube is owned by the number 1 website in the world, which is Google. We are going from blogs to vlogs and more video. It doesn't even have to be professional. And the lack of real estate agents that are on video because they're too scared is your opportunity. Unlike the hundreds of real estate agents in every city that are just spitting out mailers because it's easy, or cold calling or sending text messages, a lot of people are scared of putting themselves in front of the camera. I was too, believe it or not. And because so many people are scared, that's your time to shine, baby. You make a couple of videos, even if you practice, even if you must mess up. Actually, just right now, I messed up. I'm keeping that in. So you keep your mess ups in. It shows that you're a real person. And if you are consistent, you will get clients. You can't give your personality out on a postcard or on a mailer or on an email or on a shopping cart. You can through video. So even if you're in a big city where you look up on YouTube real estate agents near me and you find 3 that are crushing it, or you find 5 or 18 that are crushing it, there is still room for you because that's only 18 agents. How many agents are there in your MLS? How many agents have your same personality with your same humor? The more that you put your own humor out there, the more like will attract like, and you're gonna get clients booking calls with you because they like your humor, they like your personality. So as long as you are consistent with YouTube, and by consistent, I mean at least 1 video a month, every single month, you will start getting in front of people that are ready and willing and able to buy now. You're also going to get a lot of later business. So YouTube is not for now business. It is for later business and sustainable business. So that way you don't have to continue staying on your team with a team leader that berates you saying,
You're not doing enough.
Leave that toxic environment, start your YouTube channel because the ROI is there. You can get an editor for very cheap. I show you how to find a virtual assistant. I also have videos on that too. I will help you hire a virtual assistant. Shelby is the queen of hiring virtual assistants and keeping them. So she's really good at that. That's a way of you getting one-to-many business. And then when people call you from your call to action saying, call me when you're ready to buy or book a call when you're ready to buy, that turns your videos from one-to-many to one-to-one business. And that's where you can convert. And the quality of leads is going to be significantly higher because when was the last time you booked a call with someone that you hated? Never. That's not going to happen. So the only people that book calls with you are going to want to work with you. And it's no longer speed to lead at that time. You can be on vacation and the clients or the potential leads will say,
Oh, don't worry. If you come back Tuesday, I'll wait for you until Tuesday.
They will do that. So not only do you have ready, willing, you just have to figure out if they're able and get them pre-qualified, but then you also have checked off the know, like, and trust. So the only thing left in the formula is able, which you will find out once you talk to them. And they're going to be the ones booking the call with you to get you to talk to them. So it's a win-win. You just have to be consistent though. And you cannot expect to start getting leads 3 videos in. Well, actually you can. Sometime. It really depends. I started getting leads three videos in, but I do not want to guarantee. Nothing about this is a guarantee. Nothing in life is a guarantee. So if you're the type of agent that's like,
Hey, what can you guarantee me?
we're not the group for you. So if you want to know exactly how to start a YouTube channel, I have a video on this channel on exactly how to get started on YouTube. It's right here, so you can click on that. And if you have any questions about what joining me would be like at EXP, use the second link in the description below. And if you know that you want to join us already, then apply with the link below, name me as a sponsor, and I will see you and get started with you as soon as I see that application. I will give you all the resources as fast as possible, and I'm going to be there with you. I'm going to be mentoring you one-on-one. So is Shelby, so is Ruben. The more effort you put in, the more effort we put in. God bless. Have a great day.